the flower that bloomed under moonlight. Far away, in a land where snowy mountain peaks seemed to blend into the sky and rivers flowed through valleys like silver ribbons, there was the country. In one of its most peaceful corners lay a small village called Lunaria. Lunaria was unlike any other village. At night, the sky seemed closer, and the stars whispered secrets into the ears of those who listened. The villagers worked all day, and in the evenings, sat on wooden chairs outside their homes, sharing stories with one another. Yet the tales whispered about the moonlit forest beyond the village were unlike any others. The forest was so dense that even during the day, shadows lingered. Trees leaned on each other, and their leaves wove a canopy that blocked the sky. Some villagers claimed they had seen blue lights glowing deep within the forest at night. Others swore they had heard a sweet melody drifting through the air. But one thing everyone agreed on was this: at the heart of the moonlit forest bloomed the silver lily, a flower that opened only under the light of the full moon. Whoever found this flower would see their wishes come true, their dreams filled with peace, and the fate of their loved ones transformed forever. Mira and her wish. In this village lived Mira, a 12-year-old girl with curly hair and bright, curious eyes. Her days were spent at the bedside of her ailing sister Ellen, telling her stories. Ellen had been frail for years, unable to leave her bed. Every night, Mira would tell her tales full of hope, then secretly gaze at the sky and whisper, "If only my sister could get better." One night, her mother sat beside her and spoke of the silver lily in the moonlit forest. Mira's eyes widened, and at that very moment, a thought bloomed in her heart. I will find it for Ellen. The journey begins. Before dawn, while the village still slept, Mira quietly rose from bed. She packed a small satchel with bread, water, and the wool shawl her mother had knitted. At the very bottom, she placed a tiny broken hair clip, Ellen's gift to her, a little piece of her sister's smile. She slipped on her boots and stepped outside. The sky was painted with a shade of blue, fading into violet. The scent of dew from the fields filled her chest with calm. When she reached the edge of the moonlit forest, a thin mist blanketed the ground. For a moment, fear crept in, but she whispered to herself, "For Ellen, for Ellen." Secrets of the forest. The moment she stepped into the forest, a strange melody floated through the trees. It was as if someone were playing a delicate flute, the notes swaying back and forth like ripples on water. Moss on the path glimmered under the moonlight as though sprinkled with stardust. Suddenly, an owl swooped down and perched before her, its eyes a striking golden hue. The owl spoke. "Little traveler, what do you seek in this ancient forest?" Mira, startled, answered softly, "The silver lily for my sister." The owl flapped its wings gently. "The flower is not easily found. You must first seek the stone of courage. Those who find it shall find their path." And with that, the owl took flight. Mira ran after it, following the thin strands of moonlight filtering through the branches. Along the way, she saw wondrous sights. A tiny deer with shimmering blue fur watching her from the shadows. Glowing green mushrooms lined up like lanterns to guide her path. Leaves swirling in the breeze, revealing fleeting symbols in an ancient language. The stone of courage. Soon she reached a towering oak tree. Embedded in its trunk was a luminous stone. As she touched it, A warmth spread through her chest, melting away every trace of fear. Then from the branches above, tiny glowing orbs, fireflies of the forest, descended and circled around her, whispering, "Bind your courage to your wit. Close your eyes. Listen to your heart." Mira closed her eyes. She imagined holding her sister's hand, saw her smile, and remembered the days they had run through the fields together. "Let my sister heal. Please show me the way." The stone flared with light. A new path unfurled before her, its edges lined with glowing blue mushrooms, leading deeper into the heart of the forest. The garden of the silver lily Mira followed the path, losing all sense of time. The forest grew quieter, as if holding its breath. At last, she stepped into a wide clearing. In the center lay a shimmering pond, bathed in moonlight. Beside the pond bloomed the silver lily, glowing as though crafted from the stars themselves. Its petals hummed with a faint melody carried by the wind. Mira's heart raced as she knelt beside it. The flower's scent, gentle blend of vanilla and wild blossoms. Her hands trembled as she reached out to touch it. Suddenly, the sky darkened, yet in the pond's reflection, the full moon still gleamed brightly. The lily's petals quivered, scattering fine silver dust to the air. The sparkling dust settled in Mira's hair and on her fingertips. She closed her eyes and whispered her wish once more. "Let my sister heal. May nights always be filled with peace." The pond's surface rippled and a soft melody filled the air. A single petal detached from the lily and drifted into Mira's hands, glowing like captured moonlight. Return and Miracle. At sunrise, Mira returned to the village. When she opened the door to her home, her mother rushed to her, worry in her eyes. But when she saw the glowing petal in Mira's hand, tears welled up. They hurried to Ellen's bedside. For the first time in years, Ellen's face looked peaceful, her breathing steady, the pallor gone from her cheeks. She opened her eyes, smiled at Mira, and whispered, "I had the most beautiful dream tonight." Mira tucked the petal under her sister's pillow. From that day on, no one in the village feared the night. People slept peacefully, and children dreamed of touching the stars. And every night, before closing her eyes, Mira would look up at the sky and whisper, "Thank you, Silver Lily. The story ends here. May sweet dreams and a night full of peace be with you."